Everyone, and welcome to part 3 in this series on stative verbs. In this session, I'm going to talk about stative verbs for advanced users with some examples. So if you can see this chart on the right, you have plenty of stative verbs along with functions. You can pause the video and have a look at them for a better understanding. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Here we have a stative verb called desire. Okay, so you can say he desires to be great or she desires to be great. These people desire to be great. Okay, but you can't say he is desiring to be great. Even though he's working to become great himself, even though he's trying to sculpt himself into a great personality, you can't say he is desiring to be great. You only say he desires to be great. Next one. Care is also a stative verb and can't be used in the continuous form. Okay, it's incorrect to say parents are caring for their children. You only say parents care for their children. Next one. I admire your qualities is correct. Admire is to like someone and to appreciate. Okay, so you can't use it in continuous tense. You can't say I am admiring your qualities. You only say I admire your qualities. Next one. Refuse. He is refusing my help. Refuse is the opposite of accept. When you hesitate to take someone help, you say he refuses to take my help. It's wrong to say he is refusing my help. Okay, so when someone extends a hand, it's about refusing or accepting that hand. Next one is forgive. When you pardon someone for the mistakes that they've made, you are actually forgiving them. Okay, so parents are forgiving their children is wrong. You should say that parents forgive their children because this is a general statement and it reflects the qualities or the conditions of parents. Okay, so they always forgive their children. Next one. Hope is a verb that can't be used in the continuous form. So you only say I hope for the best or I hope only the best. Or you say I hope it's going to be fine. But you don't say I am hoping all the best. That's incorrect to say. Next one is believe. When you believe something, you believe in it forever. Okay, so I am believing in God is wrong. It's correct to say I believe in God. Okay, and I believe you. Even when you're not using in, you can say to people, when someone says something to you, you say I believe you. Okay, that means you have belief in the words that they've said, but you don't say I am believing. That's wrong. Next one is trust, which is similar to believe. So you don't say I am trusting my friend. You only say I trust my friend. Next one. Agree is when you have the same opinion as the other person, you agree. So you say I agree or I do not agree, but you don't say I am not agreeing. That's incorrect to say. Okay, so when you want to say no, you say I don't agree with this. I can't agree with this, but you don't say I am not agreeing. That's incorrect. Next one. Same as agree, you don't say are you disagreeing with me. When you want to find out someone's opinion, you don't say are you disagreeing with me. You only say do you disagree with me on this? Okay. Next one. Consider. I am considering your proposal. Okay, when you give close attention to something and look at something in detail, you consider before you accept. Okay, so you don't use it in continuous form for this reason. So you say, I consider your proposal. Next one, remember. When you want to find out if someone remembers something, you say, do you remember? Okay, for example, do you remember me? Okay, if you remember, you say, yes, I remember you, or I'm sorry, I don't remember you. But it's incorrect to say, are you remembering me? That's wrong. You can say, are you trying to remember? Okay, so it's about the mind, and there is no physical action in that verb. Next one is know. If you know a person, you know them, or you don't know them. But this cannot be continuous. You can't say, I'm not knowing him, but he is knowing me. That's a wrong sentence. What do you say? I don't know him, but he knows me. Okay, this is a very common situation that you come across, right? So look at the next one. Forget is a stative verb again. For this reason, you don't say, I am forgetting many things. It sounds correct when you say in speech, okay, in a social context. You say, I'm forgetting many things these days, and people understand as well. But that doesn't mean it is correct, okay? For written language and for grammatical accuracy, you can't use it in continuous form. So you say, I forget many things, okay? So yes, it's always better to have a lot of sticky notelets handy when you forget things. Right, so another word is understand, which is commonly used in a wrong way by teachers mostly in the class. So are you understanding? That's wrong to say. Okay, so you are trying to find out if they are able to follow your lesson. So you say, do you understand, or are you able to understand? Clear? You can also say, are you with me? Can you follow me? But you can't say, are you understanding? That's totally wrong. Let's go to the next one, which is imagine. Imagine is a stative verb about the mind. So you can't use it in continuous form. She is imagining something is wrong. You should say, she imagines something. Next one. Guess is another stative verb. So you guess or you don't guess, but you don't do the act of guessing. Okay, but again, in social context, it's used very often. Okay, you say, I'm guessing, but that's wrong. I'm guessing the coding is wrong. You should say, I guess the coding is wrong. When something goes wrong, you're always trying to find out, or you make guesses. You imagine something has gone wrong. So you say, I guess the code was wrong. Okay, next one. The same thing goes for mean. When you want to find out what the other person is saying in a clear manner, you ask them, what do you mean? You don't say, what are you meaning? When you make general statements that could be understood in many different ways, you have to explain. So when people ask you this question, that means they are asking you to give more information, detail about what you said. Okay, so what do you mean? There's a picture of this little girl probably seeking some information. Maybe she hasn't asked the right question, so she's trying to explain. Next one, mind is a stative verb, which means objection. Okay, when you object to something, do you mind? Okay, so when someone asks, mostly this is used in the context of helping others. So when you request someone for help, you say, would you mind helping me? Would you mind giving me a hand? Or do you mind? So this is again a stative verb, so can't be used in continuous form. So you don't say, are you minding? Okay. Now what do you say when someone asks you, do you mind or would you mind? You should say, no, I don't mind, or no, not at all. I'm happy to help, etc. Okay. Or if you mind, you say, yes, I'm actually occupied with some personal work, for example. Let's go to the next one, which is suppose. Suppose is to assume, and this is a very formal expression mostly used in research. So scientists suppose that textile industry dates back to 3000 BC. So this is an assumption that they've made, and that needs further study or evaluation or research to confirm or to conclude their assumptions or suppositions. So for that reason, you can't use it in continuous form. So scientists are supposing is wrong. You can't say that. Next one. Lena is having 2 children. Now having with is means that you're consuming something, you're eating something. So it is wrong to say Lena is having 2 children. This is about possession. So you say Lena has 2 children. Next one. The same thing with dresses. When you possess or when you own a dress, you say, I have a nice dress, or Nishka has a nice dress. But you can't say Nishka is having a nice dress. Nishka is having a good time, but Nishka has a nice dress. I hope that is clear. The same thing goes for belong. So when you belong to a particular area, you only use it in simple present. I belong to Hanamkonda. I belong to this place. I belong to this country. But you can't say is belonging. That's wrong. You belong once, you belong forever. Right? Next one is owe. I owe something to my homeland. Okay, you can't use this in continuous form. So when you are indebted to something, when you have to pay off something to someone, so I owe you $1,000, for example. Okay, so there's a beautiful quote here that I would like to mention. We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. So Albert Einstein said this. Okay, so that's a beautiful example with the word owe in it. Okay, next one is own. Okay, when you possess something again. So Robert owns a house. You own or you don't own. But there is no continuous form to this. So Robert is owning a house is incorrect. Let's look at possess. When you have something, okay, in you. So for example, she is possessing good qualities. Okay, so here we have a picture of the valorous Kiran Bedi. She is known for her courage and kindness. Okay, so those are good qualities. So you can say she possesses good qualities. Next one, consist of. Okay, so consist of is a verb that is talking about the state of something. Okay, this consists of, for example, spinach consists of iron. Okay, you can't say it is consisting of. You're talking about state. In the same way, our batch is consisting of 10 friends is wrong. You should say our batch consists of 10 friends. That's correct. Next one is cost. Now cost is a verb that you can't even use in past tense. It is strictly confined to simple present. So you can't say this car is costing $60,000. You only say this car costs $60,000, or these cars cost around $60,000, etc. Next one is your keep. Okay, when you have good company, when you work on keeping good company, that is used in simple present, saying Stuart keeps good company. You can't say Stuart is keeping good company. That's wrong. Okay, so that's it for this session, people. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.